All right, guys, I'm going to need everyone to forget that Taco Bell trip after last session. It wasn't real and it didn't happen.
I won't mention it, Donald. I honestly kind of feel bad for what I said. I wasn't acting myself.
Nah, that was comedy gold, Trump. Everybody is fair game here. You can't dome everybody in the group and then think you're special.
Bush, forget it happened and I'll cash app you 10 grand.
Forget what happened?
Now that's what I call a team player.
I'm not going to forget it, Trump. Wow. Joe, look. A youthful-looking person with freshly washed hair, and they're holding an ice cream cone with... Well, look at that. I think the flavor is chocolate. Oh, where?
Oh, I'm sorry. You missed it, Joe. What were we talking about again?
Oh, dadgummit, I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I thought.
Alright, gentlemen, welcome back to the table. Hopefully you guys talked at some point when you were together about how you wanted to accomplish this session's goals. Regardless, I do believe that this is going to be a fun one.
Oh, I think I'll be able to lead us through the mine pretty well, Sean. It's just some goblins after all. What's the worst that could happen?
Getting stabbed,
Crushed by mine collapse.
Toxic gases,
poisonous snakes,
Deep holes concealed by standing water.
tunnel flooding,
getting lost and starving to death.
Hypothermia.
infectious diseases.
You're a lard ass crushing me as we walk up an incline and you slip and fall.
All right, I get it. Jesus, fuck you guys. The majority of what you said isn't even relative. Stabbing and cave-ins seem like the most likely problem.
I think your lard ass is pretty relative, like probably the most dangerous thing on the list.
My ass shouldn't be on a list, Joe. You should be.
I'm just going to say you guys are in the hallway outside your rooms after your well-deserved rest at the tavern. This is what you're actively discussing as you congregate and decide how to begin the day.
All right. Well, let's get our shit together and head out to this mine.
No. We have time. You guys have screwed me over for too long now. I demand to play at least one song in the tavern this morning. It's not going to cost us anything to let me do it.
Joel, the morning after a night of heavy drinking isn't exactly the time that people want to hear a fledgling new bard play their untested tunes.
Now wait a minute, Braca. I'm sure that Joel could bring some wonderful entertainment to this morning.
You know what? It sounds like a plan, Joel. Let's head down to the tavern and let you jingle a tune for this morning's fine patrons who are nursing off last night's hangover. I'm sure your wonderful melodies will spirit their illnesses away.
Joe, don't.
Sean, I quickly cast command on Braca.
All right, Trump. Obama, make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Fine. That's a 14, Sean.
That'll succeed, Obama. Braca successfully beats Ameridona's.
I silvery barbs Braca's saving throw. He has to roll it again.
Joe, what the fuck?
You're not going to stop me from playing in the tavern, you snake in the grass.
Oh man, what a turn of events. Well, Obama, go ahead and...
Also, Sean, since it's a bonus action, I'd also like to unsettling words Braca. I will play in the tavern.
Joe, for your information, that's not how that works. You were using your reaction just now and it wasn't your turn. However, we're not in combat, so since I'm curious, I'll allow this for now.
This is bullshit. Joe, you're only fucking yourself. Whatever. Sean, that's going to be a natural 11. -6 from the unsettling words to make a 5.
Trump, what does Ameridona command Braca to do as he attempts to speak to Joel in that moment?
Oh, it's a really simple command, Sean, and it's not a big deal. I simply say, silence.
As Braca attempts to speak, the party witnesses Ameridona turn to him and simply say, silence. Braca doesn't proceed to say anything. For the rest of you, it simply seems as if Braca might be taking Ameridona's role as the party leader more seriously now.
Well, Joel, let's get downstairs and get you jingling a tune. The barkeep already told Ameridona that you're welcome to play and make merry all you want.
The party makes their way down into the main floor of the tavern. The main floor is somewhat populated with a patron here and there. They all seem to be in some sort of hungover state, eating breakfast or drinking water, doing anything they can to try and get some solace from the pounding headache. Ameridona, Baraka, and Bushmaster take a seat at a table in the middle of the room whilst Joel takes his position on the little corner stage.
Sean, I want to turn my head and throw a dirty-ass glance back at the halfling bartender.
You turn your head back and see the halfling bartender, wide-eyed in panic. He's looking at Joel on the stage, then back at the hungover patrons at the tables. You can tell he fears the reactions that are about to take place.
Sean, can I cast Sacred Flame on my fingertip to get his attention, but not fire it off, like I'm lighting a flip lighter?
Yeah, I'll allow that.
All right. So, I cast Sacred Flame on my fingertip in a real quick flicker to get his attention. Once our eyes meet and make contact, I give him a real dirty look and place my hand on the handle of my glaive on my back.
The halfling makes eye contact with you. You can infer from his even wider eyes now that he immediately remembers your previous interaction. You can see him slightly slump on the bar counter and place his face in his hands, almost as if sobbing.
I turn back around satisfied, ready to watch Joel.
All right, Joe. Go ahead and tell me what you do on the stage, then give me a performance roll. Based on what you tell me, I may tell you to roll with advantage or disadvantage.
Oh, good. I sit down on the little bar stool, Sean. I take out my trusty lute and quietly ensure that it's finely tuned without disturbing the fine listeners. Once I feel confident that I'm finely tuned, I'll clear my throat and take a sip from my water skin. Then I'll begin to play a soft melody with a gentle rise and fall of notes. My lyrics will speak of the wonderful beginnings of our party and slowly transition to our arrival in Goldcrest. I'll very lightly pick up my tune as I speak of our walk through the market and run in with a sweet elderly lady. I'll drop into a deeper and slower thrum as I pick away at my lute and attempt to beguile the crowd with the tale of our party being tricked by a succubus. I'll pick up my pace, but keep the lower thrums as I titillate the crowd with the tale of the simp and the succubus and the great heroes Ameridona, Joel, and Bushmaster, who came to his aid. And then I'll pan back out into a merry but middle-paced jaunt as I finish off with a quick whip of how the tale ends with a happy ending of a mystery solved and a town saved.
Well then, wow. Joe, go ahead and roll Joel's performance roll with advantage.
My high roll is a 25, Sean.
As Joel finishes his song, he looks out on a small mourning crowd in various states of emotion. Some enthralled, some with a slight teary eye. Even a few standing ovations. The halfling bartender in the back stands behind his bar in an utter state of shock. Around half the patrons make their way up to the stage and drop coins on the lip of the stage.
Well, I'll be damned.
That was beautiful. I've been forever remembered in the annals of history now.
Thank you for hitting me with silence. I know the intentions were bad at first, but this couldn't have turned out any better.
Joel, the halfling bartender, walks up to you. Sir, I want to apologize for any foul behavior I've laid at your feet. Not only was I blind to your talent, but I was also blind to the heroics you and your party would bring to our humble village. I will make sure that all who pass through my quaint tavern know of your song and tale. Please take this as a token of my gratitude and as my apology. I've kept it for years as a tool to make my life easier, but I believe it will serve you and your adventuring companions better. He takes your hand and places a decent-sized brown bag in it, then walks back to his bar solemnly.
As he walks back towards the bar, Sean, I raise my voice to him and say, "Thank you, my good friend. I will cherish this humbly given gift." Then I will walk back over to my friends and party.
As Joel returns, I'll pop a hand on his shoulder and tell him, "Well done, goat man. You may keep all of your earnings. I want none of it. You earned it all to yourself with that beautiful performance."
Sean, how much money did I collect off the stage?
Once finally finished counting, it looks like you managed to snag a whole 12 gold off the tiny hungover morning crowd. Quite a large amount considering the circumstances.
Oh, very nice.
Joel, what's in the bag the halfling gave you?
I open the bag, Sean.
When Joel looks in the bag, All he sees is an infinite, inky black void. The enchanting, never-ending emptiness of the internals of the bag seem to draw him further into a captivated state of awe. Never has Joel ever laid eyes upon such magnificent objects such as this. The magical theories that Joel currently has running through his head to attempt to understand the mathematical phenomenon occurring before his eyes are endless. If only he could.
Joel, it's a bag of holding. Stop staring at it like you found an enchanted mythical loot or something.
Ow! Sorry. I guess I just got caught up on how weird the inside of the bag looks.
Well, that'll be good to help carry any supplies in and any loot out of the mine when we're done dealing with the goblins.
You still keep rambling about these supplies that we really don't need.
Ameridona, just humor me and let me personally buy us some supplies at the general store before we head out. You won't have to spend a penny.
Fine, fine. I'll agree to this. Let's head to the supply store.
So the party makes its way through the village to the general supply store. Upon entering, the vibrant smell of various different odds and ends wafts into your nose. The sinews of rope, the grains of wood, and all sorts of oats, salts, dried jerkies and other common supplies. Behind the counter, you see an all-too-common race of Elysium, a simple human. He makes eye contact and hits you with a simple, warm smile. How may I help you fine fellows today?
I stride to the front of the party, Sean. Hello, sir. We've taken on the quest from the town blacksmith to clear the mine of goblins and have come to take stock of ourselves and our equipment before we head out. I have a couple ideas myself of things we might need. However, I was hoping, as someone who might commonly sell supplies to the miners, you might have some recommendations as to things we should take with us to delve the mine.
He gives you a keen look for a few seconds, then begins. Well then, friend, you'd be correct. I do commonly sell supplies to the miners. Well, I did before they shut down. Good of you to come ask. You'll probably be wanting some torches, as I doubt the lit ones from the miners are still going. You also might want some rope. I have no idea if the minecart bridges are still intact down there that they use. I also still have some of their alchemical explosives that they use to clear deeper passages into the mine. I doubt you would need it for that, but you might need it to clear your way out if a mine shaft collapse happens. Other than that, you'd know better what you need for combat-related things.
I feel like all those are good recommendations. As far as combat-related things go, I believe we'd only want to inquire as to your inventory of health potions if you have any.
Indeed I do, but it's only a small stock. We're just a simple village, so I don't bring much in on trade. I have 5 potions of healing in stock. Nothing special, I know. They're 25 gold apiece.
All right. Give me one moment to converse with my companions. Sean, I relay all this information to the party. So, do you guys have any of this stuff already? Or anything that can stand in the place of it? I have a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pitons, 50 feet of rope, 10 torches, and a tinderbox.
I have that same kit, but I also have the jump spell. It can triple our jump distance, so that might come in handy for something.
The only semi-useful thing I have is a candle. I do have mage hand, though. I can grab and manipulate stuff 30 feet away. I can also make one of us invisible if I need to.
I got rope, torches, and a tinderbox. Other than that, I'm going to destroy all the pesky goblins. Looks like we really didn't need to come by here. We already have the torches and the rope.
Well, hold on. I was thinking we should at least grab a healing potion and one of those alchemical explosives. We got no way out if the mine collapses.
I'll agree on the explosive. I don't have anything to clear rubble yet. However, Joel and Ameridona both have quite a lot of healing magic. I don't think we need the potion.
All right, fine. We compromise there then. I approach the counter again, Sean. All right, sir, how much for one of those alchemical explosives?
He turns back to you and looks at you with a knowing grin. Phew, one of those is going to run you around 50 gold, friend. They're quite the industrial trinket.
Oof, I don't have the gold for that, but I told Ameridona this was going to be at my expense. I'm going to try and persuade him down, Sean. Look, sir, I don't quite have that much gold. I don't think anybody is going to be buying any of these anytime soon unless we clear out this mine. I'd also like to not go bankrupt buying something to try and help bring a lot of your business back to you. Do you think you could do me a favor and help me out with the price on that?
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll, Obama.
Ah, thank God, that's a 16, Sean.
He looks down at the counter towards the alchemical explosive, then back at the pile of mining supplies that have sat and collected dust for a week. He sighs and then turns to you. I suppose you make a point, friend. It wouldn't be right of me to scalp you on a price while you're doing good by me and bringing a lot of good business back to my store. I do need something off you for the explosive so that I can take something home tonight. Business hasn't exactly been easy since the mine closure. However, you can have the alchemical explosive for only 15 gold. Think of it as a favor for helping keep my shop from possibly going under in the future.
I gladly accept the deal from him, Sean. Thank you for the favor, sir. I promise that we'll have that mine cleared out. Your business will be back to normal here soon. With that, I turn back to the party with the explosive and let them know we're good to head out.
Well, good. We have Braka's little trinket now. Let's get to stepping. I'd like to get close to the mine before it starts to get dark so we can scout the outside.
So, the party heads out of the general store and out of town. The trip down the dirt path that leads through the woods towards the mine is uneventful. After about 6 to 7 hours, you begin to see an opening at the end of the path in the woods. You can clearly tell it probably means the mine is nearby.
Everybody get into the woods to our right. Let's start creeping up to the edge of the wood line and scout out what's ahead.
Everybody give me a stealth roll as you creep up to the edge of the wood line.
Oh shit, I got a 5.
I got a damn 4 because I have disadvantage.
I got an 8.
I also got a 4 because of disadvantage. Aren't we just the stealthiest bunch of morons? Like a bunch of drunk people in the woods.
Despite the party's best efforts to be subtle as they approach the wood line, it couldn't be anything more different than subtle. Braka stubs his toe on a rock and yelps. Joel clips his hoof on a mossy branch and falls, his lute making a loud twang. Bushmaster is just heavy as hell as a warforged. He's stomping towards the wood line as if he was a living vending machine. And Ameridona's glaive on his back seems to get caught on every single thing in existence. He can't help but get aggravated and curse every other time it happens.
Damn it.
He thinks he's doing it under his
Shit.
breath, but he's not. When the party reaches the edge of the wood line, everybody does indeed see the entrance to the mine. However, right as you get there, you also see 2 goblins coming outside to inspect the area, obviously alerted to all the weird noises outside in the woods.
Shh. Everybody be quiet and wait for them to go back inside.
Trump, give me a stealth roll to see if you effectively communicate that with the party and remain undetected.
Shit. Dice don't screw the Donald now.
I give Ameridona bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank God. I'll save your bardic inspiration for later, Joe. I rolled a 17, Sean.
Awesome. Ameridona very quietly gets the party's attention and hand signals to everybody to stay quiet and wait for them to retreat back inside. It takes about an hour for the 2 sentries to abandon the more alert status and head back inside, but they eventually do.
All right, Sean. We're going to get up to the mine entrance and start making our way in.
Okay. Everybody give me another stealth roll. This time with advantage due to it getting closer to evening time, and due to the fact that the goblin sentries just stared at the woods for a whole hour and saw nothing, so they're not paying as much attention.
Nice. That'll be a 21 for me.
So the advantage canceled out my natural disadvantage and made my roll normal. However, sorry guys, that'll be a nasty natural 1 for me.
Well, that's probably made my amazing natural 20 not matter now.
The advantage cancels my natural disadvantage, and I got an 8.
Well, the good news is you guys were rolling for a group average of stealth. Joel's natural 20 is going to cancel out Bushmaster's natural 1. Braka's 21 will meet Ameridona's 8 and give you guys a pretty decent group stealth check. So, as the group makes its way up to the mine entrance, Bushmaster stumbles on a rock and almost falls with a clatter. But Joel manages to glide across the ground without making a sound, using Mage Hand to assist himself in catching you. He successfully averts disaster for the party in his adept use of bardic magics. Ameridona and Braka lead the way and have each other's backs. Ameridona taking the front, glaive ready to take down all challengers, and Braka watching the sides, protecting Ameridona's flanks. The party successfully reaches the entrance of the mine without issue or being heard and spotted.
All right, let's get in here and see if we can start picking these little guys off.
As the party gently makes its way into the mine, Joel, your passive perception picks up some cackling noise off to your left.
Guys, I think we have company up there to the left.
Shh. Joel, sneak up there and check it out.
No, I'm gonna have to do it. Nobody can see into this darkness but me.
Obama, give me a stealth roll to see if you can sneak up there successfully and scout it out.
I got a 14, Sean.
Braca glides across the stone floor of the mine silently, moving up near a pile of crates. As he peers over them, he lays eyes on a pair of goblins, most likely the two who came out to scout the surroundings earlier. They seem to be idly chatting about some nonsense.
I sneak back over to the party, Sean. There's 2 goblins in there. Looks like they're chatting with each other.
Well, let's go in there and clean their clock. I'm getting tired of this sneaky crap. These are literally goblins. We were told there were only 8 to 10 of them. That's literally nothing for us to handle. Shauna light a torch, and then I walk up and throw it in the room.
The rest of the party watches as Ameridona lights up a torch and tosses it into the room with the 2 goblins. This has immediately gotten the attention of the 2 goblins. Everybody roll for initiative.
I got a modded 20.
18 here.
Damn it, I got an 11.
I got a 14, Sean.
All right, both goblins were below that. So the order is Joel, Braca, Bushmaster, Ameridona, then the goblins. Joel, it's your turn.
All right, Sean. I'm going to run up slightly behind Ameridona and cast Vicious Mockery on the goblin on the right. It'll need to pass a DC 14 Wisdom save.
It fails, Joe. Roll your attack damage.
That'll be 2 damage, and it has disadvantage on its next attack roll.
Joel's stinging words pierce through the stagnant air of the mine and into the goblin's ears. The party can see the twisted look on his face as he suffers the emotional damage. All right, Obama, it's your turn.
Okay, Sean. I'm going to run over to the right side of Joel and try to hit the left goblin with Ray of Frost. That'll be a 17 to hit and 6 damage.
Braca runs over and skids to a halt beside Joel. He slaps his hands together and conjures a freezing cold orb of frost. He then directs it outwards in a beam towards the left goblin, striking true. The goblin reels in frost-touched pain. He looks as if he could collapse at any minute. Bushmaster, at the beginning of your turn, you begin to hear cackling in the distance, not too far behind you down the other mine shaft.
Oh yeah, fantastic rushing in, Plan Ameridona. Here comes the rest of the goblin family. We're about to get surrounded. Sean, I run over close to the mine shaft that I heard the cackling coming from. I point my arm towards the 10 by 10 foot enclosed passageway and spray it down with grease. That'll end my turn, Sean.
All right, so now it'll be the left goblin's turn. He's going to run up to Ameridona and attempt to hit him with his scimitar. He attempts to strike Ameridona, but his speed is so sluggish from Braca's frost that Ameridona easily sidesteps the blade. Now it'll be the right goblin's turn. He's going to attempt to hit Ameridona with his short bow.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Everybody is just trying to dogpile me.
I think it's more that you're the big armored paladin with the massive weapon right in front of them.
Anyways, he's going to roll with disadvantage because he's trying to hit Ameridona through his goblin ally. The goblin pulls the string back on his bow. He attempts to concentrate to attempt to aim around his goblin ally. However, at the moment he is ready to release his arrow, he thinks about the slew of emotional damage that Joel inflicted upon him earlier and releases the arrow. It harmlessly flies wide off to the side.
Wait a minute. You skipped my turn, Sean.
Well, you know what, Trump? You're right. New table rule. If I screw you over as the dungeon master, you get a free inspiration. So, Trump, you get a free inspiration now, and it's your turn.
Nice. All right, Sean. I'm going to attack the goblin in front of me with a normal melee attack. No smite. That's going to be an 18 to hit. And then that's 7 damage.
Awesome. The party watches as Ameridona runs the small goblin through with his mighty glaive. He then slings the goblin off the glaive to the side of the mine passage, as if it was nothing more than a piece of garbage.
All right, Sean. Now I'm going to move to the archer goblin in the back and use my bonus action polearm master and strike him. All right, I rolled a 13 to hit. And then 7 damage.
All right, that'll hit the less armored archer goblin. The party watches as Ameridona rushes from his position towards the rear of the mining cavern. He nears the archer goblin and swings the pommel of his glaive across the skull of the goblin with a sickening crack. The goblin crumples to the cave floor, motionless. As soon as the party thinks the combat has ended, Bushmaster can see 3 new goblins running down the mineshaft that he sprayed down with grease. They'll enter the top of the initiative order and take their turns immediately. Each of them will attempt to move through the grease-covered area and attack Bushmaster. Goblin 1 fails and falls in the grease-prone. Goblin 2 fails and falls in the grease-prone, and Goblin 3 barely makes it through, having slipped but just barely maintained his balance. He makes his way over to you, Bushmaster, and attempts to strike you with his scimitar. Just so you guys know, I have all your character sheets pulled up on the DM screen on my laptop in D&D Beyond, so that's why I never ask for your passives, armor classes, or DC checks on abilities. Anyways, the goblin manages to swing his scimitar and strike true on you, Bushmaster, getting past your armored outer layers and hitting something critical. He'll deal 3 slashing damage to you.
Oh, wow. That's it? Oh, that's smarts.
Very funny, Bush. Very funny. I'll remember that for later. Joe, it's Joel's turn.
Thanks, Bush. I can't wait till Sean pulls out something later to take us to Clappleby's. Anyways, Sean, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on the goblin attacking Bushmaster.
The goblin hears the stinging words coming from Joel, but manages to shake them off, knowing that he has comrades nearby, even though they're currently faltering.
I'll save my bonus action for now, Sean.
Baraka, at the beginning of your turn, you now also hear additional cackling and hollering coming from the other mining shaft, heading deeper into the mine.
Out of the frying pan and into the oven, boys. We got more incoming from the other shaft. Joel, I suggest you stay helping Bushmaster. Ameridona, can you please come frontline for me over here? I can't take melee hits.
Hey, I'm the party leader. Joel, you go help Bushmaster. I'm going to front line for Baraka so he doesn't get squished over there.
Squished by the enemy or squished by you?
Shut the hell up, Joe. This fat ambush isn't time for jokes.
Missed opportunity, Joe.
Just like you missed that victory in the Middle East.
Damn.
Holy shit, Joe. Friendly fire.
Anyways, Sean, I'm going to move slightly up to the deeper mine shaft and take the ready action. I'm going to ready a 2nd level Rhymes Binding Ice spell.
All right, Obama, Bushmaster, it's your turn.
Okay, Sean, I'm going to use Thunder Wave on the 3 goblins in front of me. They need to make that DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
All right, so Goblin 1 is going to fail. Goblin 2 critically fails, and Goblin 3 right in front of you also fails. What's the damage?
Holy crap. Double 8s. That's going to be 16 damage, Sean.
Very nice! Bushmaster and Joel look on in amazement as Bushmaster claps his hands together, and the thunderous force projects outwards from his hands. As the rippling force rocks across the shaft, it strikes each of the goblins in turn. The physical power is so strong that it flays pieces of skin off the goblins as the edges of the zone touches them. As the primary force actually impacts their bodies, their sternums and rib cages buckle inwards, their skulls cave in, and their internal organs rupture and burst. As the wave finishes passing over them, their bodies are left limp and not a sound is heard.
Take that, scrawny little goblins. Maybe Ameridona was right. This is lightweight. Sean, I use my movement to adjust to the other mine shaft to help the rest of the party.
Okay, Trump, it's Ameridona's turn.
Sean, I take the ready action and prepare the sacred flame cantrip for the first goblin I see.
Very good. As you guys prepare yourselves at the mine shaft, the cackling stops and you begin to hear chanting. Then a heavy stomping coming down the mine shaft.
Shit, what now?
Well, that didn't sound good.
Sean, I prepare the lightning lure cantrip for whatever comes through the shaft.